Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another 2024 X1 M35i, the U11 chassis. This is another store inventory car. It is in very nice, although I don't personally like white cars, mineral white metallic. And it's reasonably equipped, so it didn't go overboard on this particular example of the brand new X1 M35i. So we'll begin at the front here. So we've got our LED daytime running lights, a nice shape to it, cornering light, shadow line lights of course, and we got the shadow line package, not M Sport Professional, so blacked out grille. You have the M badge there on the kiddie grille, so double slat kiddie grille in the vertical orientation for M Performance models. So sensors there on the M135i and also for the 2024 X1 xDrive 28i. You can now spec ACC stop and go, or essentially what they call driving assistance plus from the factory. Very reasonable, $650. All right, so moving over to the side, we have the style 871M wheels, which are also on the xDrive 28i. These are the standard 19-inch wheels, all-season tires that have the Michelin Primacy all-season tires. We have the M Sport calipers in blue. You can also get them in red or M compound brake calipers in gray, which is a new color, also on the X2. And our M style mirror cap's not quite a wing shape. You'll see it more from the other side, but it is there. You can see the shape better here for the M style mirror cap's not evident from the front view of the car. And it's nearing sunset already here in downtown Mountain View, so we've got the car in the shade, and here's your side profile. I think an improvement over the previous generation X1, although my favorite is still the original X1. All right, so out back, big changes, of course. You have the X1 and M35i badging in chrome, an exaggerated size of the M badge, and then the 35i, much smaller size font, sort of exaggerating that thing. I don't know what's going on there. Then your standard X1 taillights. And of course, now, quad exhaust. So obviously I think a more controversial look, given that quad exhaust is usually full-blown M vehicles. But now it's showing up on M Performance. It'll also show up on the X2. Imagine it might show up on the X3 M50i when that is revealed for model year 25. And here's that 3/4 view. High gloss black trim around the windows as well as the roof rails. But a pretty good shape. I think you did a really good job with the design of the X1. And of course, it's also much more premium in terms of price. So you're encroaching on a very well-equipped X3 or even a no-frills M40i. So opening up, we have the black Vaganza and Alcantara. So same interior that we had on the Blue Bay Lagoon, although these ones are not the M Sport seats. That's on the M Sport Professional package. You can see blue contrast stitching. But I think a pretty good look. And standard on the M35i is lumbar support and massage seats. So that is an option on the 28i, but part of your package on the M35i. Over on the door card, more blue stitching. And your Harman Kardon sound system, which is standard on the vehicle. Again, there's no equalizer, just treble and bass adjustments. All right, so on the inside, you have your standard M Sport steering wheel. Not quite as elegant looking as the 5 series or 7 series. But you do have a red stripe at the 12 o'clock, and of course, M stitching on the steering wheel. Otherwise, a pretty good looking steering wheel. And in front of me, we have the iDrive 9 live cockpit. So iDrive 9 debuts on the X1, of course will also be on the X2. And then we got the heads-up display, the rest of your curved display, and I think it's a little bit on the laggy side. So it takes a little bit of touch to get there, and then really a change in orientation of how iDrive 8.5 looks. Although the X1 only had iDrive 8, but basically the same underneath, except it's sort of revised as well. So all your filters are at the top now rather than over here. We scroll down and we go to seat comfort. So again, it does take a little bit of time to get through these things. I think it's more of an artifact of Android, which is what iDrive 9 is based upon. So you do have comfort exit. I know this does appear also on newer vehicles. I think on the 5 Series, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to go ahead and confirm that. But comfort exit is available, although on other vehicles it does require BMW ID to be logged in. Your profile's got to be logged in on the car. Go back a menu. It does take a little bit of time. It's a little bit laggy. So sort of a nice 1 or 2 second delay in terms of these things. But otherwise, pretty decent looking. But it looks exactly like 8.5, and underneath, of course, also looks just like 8. But that's it for a quick little look at iDrive 9. So the trim is the aluminum hexacube trim, which appears here on the dashboard, and then parts of the door card. It does not show up down here in the center console. So you have your cup holders and your little cradle for your phone if you want to use the wireless charging. I would recommend USB-C, it's much faster. And your floating center console, reminiscent of what's on the X1. However, no iDrive controller. So this is, at least in the US market, one of the first. It is the first one not to have an iDrive controller. Alright, so starting price, the X1 M35i is just a hair under $50,000 at $49,900. Metallic paint adds another $650. Driving Assistance Plus for another $500. So I think I said $600, but it's still a good price on that. Shadowline package for another $500. Premium package for another $2,800. Heated front seats and steering wheel, $550. Not part of any package, so you have to make sure you check out if you actually want it. Remote engine start, which you of course add after it was built. So it's not on the lot when you buy it. You can actually get it through the Connected Drive store for $300. And then the active front seats and lumbar support. I was mistaken on that. I think on the other one it was there. So that's $450. So still not a bad price. And all told, MSRP of $56,645. So obviously a big, huge price. And with that price, I think you can tell where the next generation X3 is going in terms of price. It's going to be more than that for sure. All right, so taking in your black Alcantara Vaganza interior for the back seats. Alright, so here's the view from the back seat of the cockpit with our moonroof shade open. Then you do not get climate control in the back, you only get vents down here. But knee room and legroom is pretty damn good. And headroom, not an issue. Now whether or not this makes sense for you as a consumer depends on your preferences for front-wheel drive based architecture, the X1, or rear-wheel drive architecture in the X3. But they're fairly close in size, although the X3 is going to be a little bit bigger and have more cargo area, but not by much. Right, I tried to see if I had kicked open enabled on the vehicle in the iDrive settings. We'll just pop the trunk here, the cargo door. And then cargo area is pretty decent size. You can also fold down those rear seats. And this one does not have a spare tire, but so you do have a little bit of extra storage space beneath here. But not bad. think maybe a good starter vehicle for a family. All right, we will make our way to the front of the vehicle and pop the hood. I'm taking this X1 M35i design, which I think looks pretty good. All right, so underneath the hood, with the giant M badge there, is the B48 inline-4 2-liter turbo engine, 312 horsepower, and 295 torques. So big ups from the xDrive 28i. And it does make a little bit of a sound when accelerating hard and lifting off the accelerator. A little bit of the burble noise comes through. But that's it for a quick tour around another X1 M35i, and we'll see you at the next video.